Hello and welcome to my channel. Progress has been slow, but I've been making progress nonetheless. Welcome back and thanks for being here. I just wasn't up to making a video last week, only to report a 1.6 pound loss. It's still weight loss and progress, but that's all I had to say was that I had lost 1.6 pounds and I didn't want to bust out all the recording equipment, go through all the effort of making a video just to bore you with that little tidbit. So in the past 2 weeks I have lost 3.6 pounds, and so that means I lost another 2 pounds last week. I currently weigh 191.5 pounds, so I am down 46.6 pounds since the beginning 13 weeks ago. That is good weight loss. Some people still say too fast, but I feel pretty good. My waist, I have dropped 7.5 inches from my waist. I now have a 37.5 inch waist, and total body fat loss is around 10%. The Magic Scale estimates my body fat at 22%. My end goal is to get to 19%, and I really think that if I stick with a healthy lifestyle, I can get below that, but while I'm in this Optavia program, 19 is my goal, and then what happens after that is all dependent on how I continue to eat afterwards. I have purchased, I think, what might be my last Optavia monthly supply. I had plenty of the lunches left over from last month because I had over-ordered intentionally. And so for March, all I have ordered is the bars and pancakes and brownies. So almost everything is snack foods. And that's because I still have enough of the lunch type fuelings to last me through the middle of the month. I think by the middle of the month, if I'm not at, well, I don't think I'm going to lose 10 pounds in the next 3 weeks, but I'll be close enough to where I'll be thinking, all right, I'm going to start eating something else. The transition from Optavia to regular foods is not really supposed to happen until after I get to my goal weight, which is 180 pounds. Previously, whenever I first started this with my health coach, I told her 190, and I'll be at 190 in no time. If I'm 191 today, I'll probably be below 190 next week. But I still want to go a little bit lower than that. So right now I'm targeting 180 pounds, and we'll see how that goes. Some things that have been happening that might have contributed to my slow weight loss. That's a relative term, right? Slow weight loss. I had a birthday last week, and that birthday did not contribute to my slow weight loss in the previous week, but I don't know, it all adds up. I think I did pretty good. We went out to dinner, and that was my first dinner outing in probably a month or more. I had the hickory bourbon salmon with it's like grilled zucchini and green beans, and I did eat the whole portion of it because it was salmon, so I probably overate by maybe 2 ounces, and the veggie servings were probably appropriate. It was one of these I forget what they call it. It's like a fit and fresh plate or something like that. And so that's just a tiny bit of overeating, maybe. And then my wife also made me a chocolate cake. She knows I love chocolate cake. She made something that is flourless and very rich. And I had just the smallest piece. It couldn't have even been maybe that big. It was really small, but also very heavy. It just sank right into the bottom of my stomach. Very good, but I controlled myself and didn't have a big gigantic piece. The whole cake and together was like this big. So what is that, 8 inches maybe? And I took that and split it up in the office. And so yeah, definitely no chance for me to overdo it on that. And then also of interest is yesterday I participated in supporting our city's One City Marathon. I've been doing this since its inaugural run, I think about 5 years ago. I missed the second year because I had to travel on business, but I've done it every year since then. And this year, since I'm so far out of shape, I was glad that I was only supporting the half marathon. And so I got up yesterday morning, very early. I actually have not been sleeping so well. I still have some sleeping problems, so I was awake at 3:20. Decided to just go ahead and get up, and got on the road at 5:45 in the darkness. It was 28 degrees out, and I knew it was going to be cold, but I wasn't sure how my thinner self would adapt to riding in the cold. I wasn't sure if I was going to dress appropriately. So I went ahead and overdressed, and if I was going on a bicycle ride, I was overdressed. I was uncomfortable in the first 2 miles, starting to get there in the, say by the 3rd mile, my fingers were starting to feel a little better after 3 miles, and by the time I got there to the venue at the 5-mile mark, I was feeling pretty good, right? Except my torso was overheated. Then we got to stand around for 30 minutes waiting for the event to start. And in that time, I got cold all over again. We all did. There was 7 of us there, I think, for the half marathon bicyclists. And I just figured I would get warmed up again as I get going. I was leading the lead male runner, so that meant that I got to finish a little sooner than everybody else, a little bit less exposure, and riding just a little bit faster. But when you're riding at a runner's pace, you're just not working hard enough to generate that body heat. And so much to my surprise, I was cold for the first 45 minutes. And so with my torso being cold, that meant that my hands were cold, very cold. And then my toes were getting numb. And I don't know, maybe 45 minutes into the ride, which is almost 30 minutes before the end, I was starting to feel okay. And then once I got to the finish and got off my bike and was walking, that's when I realized, man, my feet are numb. So that's an interesting way to just jump back on the bike cold turkey and do some riding. But it was still a good experience. And then, of course, I was kind of compelled to make up some of those calories because I don't remember how many calories the Fitbit said that I had burned. But so I had an extra fueling instead of extra protein. And I think I did all right with all of that. I had a meal voucher that I could have used at the venue for a free meal, but I walked to all those food trucks and just didn't see anything that appealed to me. I came close to getting, something from the taco truck, but I just wasn't up to it. I felt like staying away from the food that probably would throw me off track. Call me kooky, I guess. The taco truck I probably could have done, but I don't know. I guess I played it safe and went ahead and made my way to a meeting spot where my wife picked me up and got me home. So overall, I rode 18 miles that day, and 18 miles is not really very far. But when you haven't been riding for eight months, 6 months, something like that, I've been on a ride in a long time, and then to do it in the cold like that, wow, what an awakening. So that's my bicycle thing there. I'm starting to babble a little bit. What else is new? I've started doing some push-ups. I want to do 100 a day. I've seen some videos on how 100 push-ups a day can transform a body, and I'm not there yet. I did 60 in a day last week, and then again, I've been having some slight back problems, so I kind of take it easy. I'll do a bunch of push-ups one day, and then I'll maybe do some less a following day. I'm going to keep on doing that. Eventually my core strength will be up to where I can just do that 100 push-ups a day, and then we'll see what happens here in my chest and my I can feel it in my shoulders, the burn and the ache, and we'll see how it works with my core to make my back feel better. If I can, I'm going to do more riding this week. It's kind of tough in the cold. It's actually nice today. It's supposed to be a high of 64. We'll see. I'm torn between working on projects on my car and taking the bike out for a ride. But today is a great day for a bike ride, so maybe I'll do that. I'll let you know next week if I did any bike riding. Until then, take care, and thanks for being here.